I would like to show you a brief example of how we can apply a geospatial search to survey data and connect the data with the images through a PaDIL interface. The example I'll show is from the Barrow Island Quarantine Incursion Management Program, and so here are some of the Camponotus ants that have been collected by Rebecca Graham or Callan, but you can see here from 2006 survey, the 2005 survey. So we said we have various lots of temporal data, spatial data, and collector data. Let's see if we can combine that. So we received the specimens here at Museum Victoria, and we image captured them, and then we captured the data that was associated with the labels through spreadsheets that were sent to us from the database that they had, and they came to us as an Excel spreadsheet. You can see down here we have the sites as well as the temporal data, and along the top we had the classification or the taxonomy, and then in the rows, in the columns down here, we had the collection events, either as 0 or 1. I then transferred that data into a TextPress database on a Unix platform, and then I interacted the data with the images through PaDIL. The interface is a Google Maps a live interactive map given to me. The software was given to me by Steve Shattuck at Annex CSIRO, and it allows the user to put on a user-defined polygon and make a spatial query, as well as being so let's, as I said, let's have a look at, we saw Rebecca Graham there collected Camponotus in 2006. So let's say, for example, you remember that she collected something similar to what you have just collected now up in the northeast of the island. So let's put a user-defined polygon on the northeast of the island, and as you can see, as you move the polygon, it tracks the 4 corners. If you had a wish, you can zoom in on the area and enlarge it or make it more refined, but look, we're happy with something like that. We said we were keen on looking at ants, and in the genus Camponotus, so we now have the taxonomy variable. We said it was Rebecca Graham who collected the material, and we reckon the one that she caught that you've now got was collected in the 2006 survey. So we have temporal data, spatial data, taxonomy data, and collector data. When you make a query that interacts with the Unix database and brings back thumbnails of all the species that were associated, you can have a look at the data that was used to bring back the record, and there we are. Rebecca Graham caught this Camponotus in the 2006, in the March 2006, September 2006, or the May 2006 from those areas up there. We can go and look at the entire, the entire PaDIL page. So here are all the available images for that species, and we can now flip back to the comparative table. If you like, you can also get a distribution map, Google's distribution map for the species, for that species across the island, up around here. And now, but the question is that you've received these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 species. They were all collected by Rebecca Graham up in the northeast of the island in 2006. So now let's create dynamically a comparative image table of those 6 species, which allows you to look at the dorsal view, the head side, the head front, the lateral, and you move on down, and then you make your identification based on there. So there's an example of using geospatial interface, linking it with PaDIL images, linking it with the data set, and helping with the quarantine incursion management on Barrow Island. Cheers.